Well, hello, my sweet friend. I am Christina, cake business productivity coach, and someone who truly understands what it feels like to judge creativity, clients, and real life. If you've ever felt tired, overworked, or unsure about how to actually sell your cakes and want to turn your passion into a real, organized, and profitable business, you are in the right place. This podcast is here to help you go from feeling overwhelmed and doing everything on your own to build a cake business that feels organized, sustainable, and actually works for you. Because you're not meant to figure this out alone. Let's go into today's episode and welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. Hey, my sweet friend. If you enjoyed this episode, the best way to give back is to follow the podcast, download the episode, and leave a review. It helps more cake artists like you find this space. Share it on social media, tag me at the Arcade Coach, and come say hi. I would love to connect with you. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, or check the links in the show notes to stay connected. Hello, today we have a guest episode with Jenny from Sweet as Success. Jenny is a multi award winning businesswoman with over 25 years of experience in the cake industry. Originally trained as a pastry chef, Jenny worked in some of the UK's top establishments, honing her skills before establishing her cake business, which went from kitchen table to six figures within 3 years. Jenny created cakes for royalty, making His Royal Highness Charles and Camilla first wedding anniversary cake, appear on TV Britain's Best Bakery, amongst others, and feature across the national press. Jenny sold her cake business after selling over 2 million worth of cakes and trained as a coach and hypnotherapist. Jenny is an expert in not only creating beautiful cakes, but growing a cake business, gaining press, and the mindset needed to create a successful cake business. Jenny coaches with passion, making it fun whilst being result driven. Jenny prides herself on being cake business owner, biggest cheerleader in business, working with them on their mindset to help them achieve their goals and dreams. When not working, Jenny can be found in the forest or at the beach swimming in the sea when it's warm enough. And I really want to welcome Jenny because not only I found a cake coach here, but I think I found a friend that it's going to make a lot of things happen, and together we're going to make a lot of things happen. So let me invite you to listen to today's episode. Well, hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to another episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Christina here. Super happy to be here with all of you once again. And I'm not alone today. I'm with Jenny from Sweet as Success. Jenny is a fellow cake business mentor and coach that we met through Instagram. Fun enough. And I'm very happy to have you here. Hello, Jenny. How are you doing today?
I'm so good. Thank you so much, Christina. I've really been looking forward to chatting with you.
Yeah, it's funny how I found no, it's not funny, but let me tell the story of how I found you. I recorded an episode with Joe and Charlotte from the Baking Bosses, and you did an episode with them, right? And I think I was researching for the episode with them, and I came across your episode with them, and I was like, Jenny's saying just what I'm saying. I mean, that's it. That's it. More of us. Great. More coaches there. So, and I instantly replied to the message or contact you or follow your page, start seeing what you post. And we were talking behind the scene how good it is to know that more people are saying what we're saying because this community needs it. So, Jenny, welcome.
Thank you so much. And you're right, we need to, there's so many bakers out there that need our help. There's so many bakers that are undercharging or not feeling confident enough. And actually, the more voices saying the same, giving the same message, the better. It's a bit like there's no competition. We do the same thing, but there's no competition because you say it in your way, I say it my way. People
Mhm.
resonate with you, people resonate with me. It's a bit like two cake artists in the same town. One of them makes a buttercream cake and one of them makes a fondant cake. They're both cakes, they're
Yeah.
slightly different, and they both have the same outcome, but actually they're slightly different, and we need to get away from this thinking of everyone around me is my competition in the baking
No.
world, because they're not.
They're not. I know, I know, I know, I know. It's 100% agree. As I was chatting with you before, that's why I did a previous episode with four coaches here on the podcast, and now it's you, and I had Joe and Charlotte, which I mean, they also have a membership. They also help a coach their community, because honestly, I think the more the merrier. This industry needs to hear what we're saying, and there are many ways to say it. There are many ways to get to them. So yeah, honestly, I'm really happy that there are more and more of us,
Yeah,
and hopefully we will make a big impact in this industry, and this
absolutely.
will be a before and after. That's what I'm looking
Mm.
for this to this. I mean, all of us coaches is starting this and do a before and after in
Yeah,
this industry, because I think
absolutely.
all the cake makers out there deserve it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I had
Mm-hmm.
a really lovely message from one of my clients that I work with one to one in my mentorship, and we've had one session, and she said, I've just looked at my figures, and for this month I am 50% up on last month because I've taken all of the actions that you've said. Like, how amazing is that? We are literally changing people's lives. I know that sounds a little bit dramatic, but we're giving them the information to go and create a different life for themselves. Like, I know that
Absolutely.
I when I had my cake business, I created a completely different life for myself with my own hands, and we're
Yeah.
enabling other bakers to do that. And isn't it just amazing and such a blessing?
It is. It is. It is amazing. And I also believe in community. I do not believe in
Mm,
competition, it's community. The more
yeah,
the merrier. Yeah. But
absolutely.
I mean, we keep talking about it. We're going to go away from the topic, but because I really wanted to start by asking you about how you started, because we all
Mm,
started, like I mentioned to you behind the scene as well. I didn't know what I was doing when I started. I
mm,
figured out later. It took me a long time. I wish
yeah.
there were some some cake business
Shortcuts.
coaches. Yeah,
Yeah.
18 years ago, but there were not. And so how do you start it? I know you've been in this industry for a long time, but tell us your
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. When I think about how long I've been in the industry, I feel very old. Um,
No, no, you started very young.
yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yeah, let's
exactly.
put it that way.
Yeah. So I actually trained as a pastry chef in some of London's top hotels, and as soon as I walked into the patisserie in Claridge's, which is a big five-star hotel
Hmm.
in Mayfair, I had already trained as a chef, and I walked into the patisserie kitchen. And I went, "Wow, this is what I want to do." So I worked as a pastry chef for a few years, and travelled around and went to Australia. And it was always my dream to have a cake business and a cake shop, actually. So I had my first son at 23, and then a year later, I decided this was the time to fulfil my dream. So I started very much from the kitchen table, and I built up. I went to every summer fair, PTA, Christmas fair, everything going, just to get people to try my cakes. And I specialise in chocolate because that was my training. And 3 years later, I found the perfect shop and opened a shop with a bakery all on site. So the smells would come kind of floating down the road. It was, and people would just almost come in like kind of, what is it, mesmerized to come in because the smell of the bakery. And then I ran that and opened another shop, and was really lucky to be invited on TV as a chocolate cake expert and on a few different shows. And I then I had a really horrible divorce, and I was like, it just made me question everything. Like, what do I want from my life? I was
Hmm.
mid-30s, and I thought, what do I want here? Or late 30s. So I decided to fulfill another lifelong dream, which was to live by the coast. I'd always wanted to live by the sea. I just get this real peace from being by the sea. So I literally sold everything, my house, my business, everything. and took me and my two boys down to the coast in England and started again. And I was like, what do I do now? I just kind of surprised myself with the change. And I thought, what I really want or what I really want to do is help people that were in my situation. And when I started, I've always worked with coaches and mentors. You can get far further faster with coaches and mentors. There's no two ways about it. It's a proven fact. But when I looked at it, I thought I need to help people. I've had so much help, but it was never specific. It was never cake community guidance. So I had to figure a lot of it out myself. And I thought, bring my experience in terms of the £2 million worth of cakes that I've sold and all of the experience that I had through growing my business over 14, 15 years, along with that business coaching. So I did a coaching qualification, and I thought, marry the two together and really concentrate on that.
Excellent. I mean, I'm taking notes of everything you said, because, and I wrote something down that you did. You studied, you built, you sold, you rebuild. I mean, you have been reinventing yourself around the baking business for a long time, and I'm
Mm,
sure that has given you a background of knowledge that
mm,
you share with your community, and it's an interesting perspective, because it's not only I bake cakes from home, it's
mm.
I have built businesses and I sold my business.
Yeah.
Being at that level, that is not just, I just bake a few cakes from home and sell them on the local fair, which is nothing wrong with that. But, you
No.
know,
Yeah.
being a big business owner, having a storefront, having a bakery, selling the bakery because you wanted to move to the coast. I love that, by the way. And and then starting again. How what lessons have you learned through that, um, through all those years, I guess? Of course, there's not been months, it's been years, that you now transmit uh, to your members, to your community.
Oh gosh, so many. I mean, as cake makers, we have to wear very many hats, right? So we have to be an expert in everything. And actually, I think it's really important that you bring in experts into your business. So I'm dyslexic. I've got ADHD. I am, I do.
Me too. I'm dyslexic as well. There's something going on in this community. Sorry to interrupt you, because everybody has something, but I guess that's what makes us original.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's it. I think we need to get the support where we need it. So
Mhm.
I have learnt to be good with numbers, but I absolutely wasn't before. So bringing in experts to help you with your finances, your social media if you need it, because we have to be content creators as well, right? That's part of the job. Bringing experts to see outside of the bubble, because we're in a bubble, and I
Mm.
work with a coach, and I think that every coach needs to work with a coach because we need to
Definitely.
see bigger than ourselves as well,
Hmm.
to get us to be the best that we can be so that we can serve our customers in the best way as well.
Yeah.
Um, but another thing you mentioned sort of innovation. Another thing that I was really clear about from the very beginning of my business is it's innovate or die. You cannot just make the same thing for years and years and years and years and years and expect it to keep going. You have to innovate. You have to be, and we're creative by nature, right?
Hmm.
We're chefs, we're bakers, we are creative. That's in us. But you have to be creative within this industry. So trends will come and go. Lambeth cakes will be gone soon. So what is the next skill that you want to have? And I'm really my messaging is all about absolutely niche down. If you go onto a page and you see brownies and vintage cakes and modern cakes and wafer paper and chocolate and everything, buyers get confused and then they go and find somebody that is really clear on what they're doing. So innovation, but within that, be the expert in something. Choose your niche, choose your area, and absolutely excel in that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that because when I started, when we and most of the people that I talk to, even in our community, when we started, we think we had to do everything in order to please
Hmm.
everyone. And as we move and we change that mentality from I just bake cakes and sell cakes from home and I
Yeah.
have to please everyone, to okay, this is a business. I have to treat it as such. Um, that niching down, that level of expertise, all that makes sense, but you have to work the business mentality to get to that point for that to make sense. And I think that's what a lot of bakers out there are lacking, right?
Yeah.
And you lived it through your career, through your business, because having such a I mean having a bakery and thinking, oh, I just bake cakes, oh, I'm just here to please the people. No. They're pay bills to pay, there
Yeah.
things to do, and you have to do them. I
Mm.
love also that you mentioned that all coaches need coaches. We do, and the importance of that support, it's overlooked by so many.
Mm.
And that comes to my next question that I was going to ask you. So you built your business, you sold your business, then you change into the coaching and the mentoring because you felt I have to give back somehow, right? I have to give what I know. What it means for you to coach your fellow bakers, and what is the one thing most of them complain about?
Um, Honestly, I would do this job. I don't think of it as a job, but I would do this for free. If I won the lottery, I'd still do it for free because I love
I hear
it.
you. Yeah.
It's just the best. It's the best, 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 honestly. Um, I can't pick out one thing that I love the most. I think it's probably the transformation. When people
Mm,
come to me for my mentorship, they come because they're a little bit lost, they're a little bit stuck, they've got massive dreams and goals, but they really are feeling a little bit disheartened because they started their business because they wanted to create, but they wanted to be paid properly for it, and they wanted to build something that they were proud of, that they could have a legacy as well for their family and their kids. And they get to a point where they feel like they're bumping up against a bit of a ceiling, and they're
mhm,
like, what do I do? Where do I go? And they are experts in what they do in terms of the cakes and the bakes and everything, but they've never learned
mm.
how to run a business. And this, it doesn't come naturally to people. I learned the hard way. I learned by doing, 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 and it took me a long, long time. And I think the culture a little bit is, let's get this done quickly. I can put some brownies or a cake in the oven and sell them later or tomorrow, but the business side of it, that needs a lot more nurturing, a lot more time and money and energy invested in it to actually get where they want to go. So they feel a little bit lost when they come
Mm.
to me. They feel like they're underpricing, which generally they are. They're not paying themselves enough. They have no boundaries around it. They've got really clear goals of where they want to go, but they just don't know what that middle part is, how to get there.
Yeah, yeah. It's when you we see this transformation
Mm,
in the members of our communities, membership, whatever, it's magic. It's magic.
yeah.
I do feel like a proud mama when I see them,
Yeah.
coming out of their shell and putting themselves out there and doing the things that
Yeah.
we're fearing to do. Yeah, it's a great feeling, and I'm with you. If I win the lottery, I will probably keep doing it for I wish I win the lottery so I don't have to stress about making the money.
Yeah.
It's like, no, just let's just do it because I like you, I love this part of
Yeah.
helping them realize and have that transformation, which is beautiful. You
Yeah.
mentioned the feeling lost. You mentioned the pricing. Is pricing
Mm,
one of those? I mean, it is everywhere, but I'm wondering
yeah.
in your community, is that still the number one issue? Um, or do you think it's the symptom of a bigger issue behind that? We talked about that in the other episode, but tell me your opinion about it.
Yeah, so one of the things that I do, so I've been working with a mindset coach
Mm,
for um 15 years, and people go, well, surely you've got your mindset in the right place, right? But it's a bit like personal training. You got to keep working that muscle. You can't just go, right, spring clean, done, I don't have to clean again.
Yeah.
So a mindset is such a huge thing. And
Mm-hmm.
generally, well, there's a wasp right there. Sorry.
Wants to be on the podcast. Hello,
Yeah,
Wasp.
exactly. It's appearing. um, Generally, it is the mindset. People don't feel that they are worthy of charging that amount, or they feel like, if I charge that, I won't have any customers. And actually, if we position ourselves right, if people position themselves in the right place, you can get a cake from a supermarket with buttercream and jam, or cream and jam, or whatever. You can get that. But when you position yourself for the right kind of customers, they don't mind paying the money because they're looking for quality. They don't want a supermarket cake. They want the quality that these people are offering. So it's normally they think it's a huge mindset is a huge thing. Yes, it is, but they think it's too hard to conquer, and I'm
Mm.
not the kind of person that can do that. But within a session or two, we've got that mindset gremlin out, and then we're like, right, let's get on and build the business from here. Because when you
Exactly.
think you can do something, you're right. When you think you can't do something, you're also right. It's a famous saying for a reason.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's just somebody from, I mean, outside of their own head that tells them, you have permission to do it. You have permission to
Mm,
question it. You have permission to
mm,
change it.
yeah,
That's all we need sometimes. Like, oh, okay, it's not just me in my head. Somebody else is telling me that I can do this. And
yeah.
it's as simple, sometimes it's as simple as that little switch that moves, and it helps so much. And I've been starting to think that all this issue with the social media, with the pricing, with it all comes to, it's more a symptom of what's behind that mindset, and the motion behind the businesses. um I think most people out there start businesses out of something they're missing or something they're lacking, and they want to validate it through the business instead of let me build a business itself as an entity and not as something that I'm missing, either because they don't want to work for somebody else, or because they don't, they want to be their own boss because they want time. Because, but at the end of the day, it all comes to that work on mindset. And I love that you've been with I was laughing because it's true. I do believe that any kind of therapy is as valid as going to the gym,
Yeah,
because we need it, we
yeah,
need it. It's not easy, and we need it. Yeah, definitely.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
it, with this, there's a theory that we're the sum of the five people around us. And
Hmm.
actually, when the five people around you don't understand business, or they don't understand being self-employed, sometimes it can get a little bit, you can have the most supportive person by your side, but actually if they don't get it, it's really hard to be that person for yourself, be that cheerleader for yourself.
Yeah, it is. It is. Actually, this morning I had a conversation. This has nothing to do with Jenny, but I'm gonna just for picturing ideas. I had a conversation with my oldest daughter, who's graduating college this year, and she was telling me, "Oh, mom, I just want to be employed because I don't want to stress over a business and the money. Just
Mm,
thinking about that gives me the ick." That's what she said. And I looked at her and I said, honey, for me, being what you want to be gives me the eek. So there's some, I mean, people is different. It's not good or bad. It's not that, everybody should have a business or everybody should be employees. Whatever makes you, happy. And once, is there something inside that's like, this is what I need to do, but not everybody understands it. And yeah, it's what you say. And sometimes even the family, the friend, the people who's around them don't understand it, and it's hard. Yeah.
absolutely. And I think that we are in a society that values having a job, and when if you're in that community, um it can be, my mum's always been self-employed, so it wasn't a huge thing for me to start my own business. But I know certain other people are like, are you mad, like starting a business at 24? But it's what you know, isn't it? And I think that
Yeah.
it is a credible option. You can create a really good living in this industry. And I think people feel like it's a bit out of reach, but it's not. There's work involved, and you can make the most amazing cakes in the world, but if you don't work on your business, you will not get to where you need to go. So it's bringing all of the actions and doing all of the things that you need to do to grow your business to achieve those goals that you want to achieve.
Yeah. Do you think that's where most of the this new bakers get it wrong? They think it's easy. That is there doesn't have to be a lot of work involved. Maybe, I don't know.
I think there's a lower barrier to entry.
Mm-hmm.
Most people can make a nice brownie, a few people can bake a really nice cake, and a few people can learn how to decorate really well. That's the skill is given when you get to a certain level. The skill is absolutely there, but actually it takes more work to build a successful, sustainable business that doesn't burn you out. And that's the piece that people avoid because
Yeah.
they don't feel like they can do it. And I mean, as I said, I'm dyslexic, I've got ADHD, I failed almost everything at school, and if I can do it, I can absolutely help other people to do it as well.
Exactly. I mean, it's all about figuring it out one step at a
Yeah,
time. That's
yeah.
it. Not getting overwhelmed on the way, with the big picture, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the coaches are here for. Running a baking business is incredible, but the admin part, not so much. Chasing customers for deposit, managing orders over DMs, losing track of your recipes, trying to figure it out what you need to bake this week can be a lot. That's exactly why Crumb HQ was built. Crumb HQ is the platform designed for the ground up for bakers and baking business owners. You get order management, invoices, production planning, a full recipe library, and your own storefront. A beautiful online shop where your customers can browse your products, choose their flavors, frostings, and fillings, and place that order directly with you. No more back and forth, no more spreadsheets, just a proper professional baking business. And only for you, my sweet listener of the Art Cake Coach podcast, we have a very special discount code with 2 months at 50% off plus a 14-day free trial. Yes, you can try it completely free for 14 days, no card needed. Head to Crumb HQ to get started. The links and special discount code for you, it's included in the show notes. What is the best piece of advice that you have received from, I don't know, mentor, coach, that really helped you move forward in your business?
I always like to think, I'm not sure if it's advice. Um, I always like to think, why not? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Try it. What's the
Yeah.
worst that can happen from any of this stuff? Just give it a go. And I think we create our own luck and opportunities. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's really important to remember that there's no one coming with a business manual to hand it on the platter and then do all of the stuff for you. You've got to do the stuff yourself. But yeah, take the opportunities. Um, Try to have no regrets because we've got one short life and live it to the very best.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, try something else. But you've got to, I think for me, I've got to put everything into something to know that it hasn't worked.
Yeah.
um and then I'm fine. I will do something else. I will make a
Yeah.
success of something else. But I think it's trying and not regretting anything.
Oh, I love it. That's a great takeaway for anybody listening. Just do it. What is the worst thing that can happen?
Just do
And if it
it.
doesn't
Yeah.
work, it's okay. Try something else.
Yeah.
And that's it. Love it. Love it. You mentioned before something that I mean, I agree 100%, and I think it's super important, which is the innovation, right?
Mhm.
So I'm gonna ask you a different question now. I've been seeing in this cake industry, uh, and I've been talking about this in this podcast. I have another podcast called No Icing, where it's like raw talk about everything related to the cake industry, whatever I'm thinking, and everybody's thinking, but
You've
don't
seen it.
saying it out loud. And we talk a lot about the industry itself, or
Mm.
I talk a lot. I had a few guests there, but I talk a lot about the industry itself. And what I'm seeing in the industry right now is there is a lot content innovation, right? On social media, you see a lot of people doing great stuff on social media. Not necessarily is what's happening consumer wise. Like, I don't know if people is buying that or it's just for content sake. But in the other hand, you have a very old industry and community, I mean international cake community, that feels that is stuck somehow in the way things were done, I don't know, 50 years ago. um what do you think will be uh the the best, not the best way, that's not what I want to ask. How do you think the industry can keep up the international cake community, and calling it like big cake events, awards, magazines, you name it, with the reality, but keeping being innovative? How can we mix these things together to make it more cohesive, this industry? I don't know if I make sense.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that you know, we we have to move with the times. You know, there's trends out there that, um, 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, a Lambeth cake would have been. It's a bit like skinny jeans versus, that
Yeah.
the what are the jeans that are in fashion now. The industry, like any industry, moves in trends and fashions, and I think that the content creation movement is not going to go anywhere. It's only going to get bigger. And I think it's about recognizing that that's what it is. It's content creation. It's not necessarily.
Mm.
So I saw a life-size Spider-Man cake the other day that a creator had made. It was amazing, but they had made it to cut a slice out of it. So nobody is buying well, the Spider-Man movie might buy a Spider-Man life size, but
Yeah.
you won't get people every month ordering a life size Spider-Man. So it's this kind of comparisonitis. So we are thinking that people are creating these things all the time, but they're creating them for views, and they're creating them
Hmm.
because they get paid by Meta or TikTok or whoever. So keeping that as a separate thing, and not comparing ourselves to that, that is a content creation, and real life bakers are doing different things. They're making money from people that are buying cakes. The content creators are making money through views. So making sure that we remember that those two are different. And in terms of events, and magazines, all of that kind of stuff, I really want to see a shift to the events that I have been at and approached are very much about, here's the newest decorating technique, or here's an old decorating technique that you can perfect. We You can learn all of the skills in the world. It'd probably take you a lifetime, but you can learn all of the skills, and there'd still be new skills. But actually, you can be an eternal skill learner, and that will not grow your business. If you want to grow a business from
Hmm.
this, you must learn about the business side of it. And I think that it's something which is why we have to keep we were talking about giving value every day, and saying if we
Yeah.
give one piece of value every day, we're happy. Which is why we've got such a job to do, to keep talking about the benefits of working on your business as well as in your business. If you're
Hmm.
the most talented cake maker in the world, fantastic, but you have to learn business as well. And that's
Yeah.
what's missing from these big events and from the magazines and all
I agree.
everywhere that has a community. And that's why we do what we do.
Yeah, that is, and I mean, you just pointed out. I've been saying it, but you just pointed out that is the gap, because at the end of the day, if bakers are not having a profitable business that can put aside some money from their own business to go to the events or to buy the magazines,
Mm.
those events and those magazines or competitions or whatever stop being relevant,
Yeah.
because I have bills to pay, and
Mhm.
this comes second, and there is that gap. Yeah,
Mm.
that big gap. And in the other hand, I mean, the content creators are creating also a false expectation from bakers and customers as well, because you have those crazy customers that call you like, I want a life size hanging, I don't know, Spider-Man cake for 8 people for
Yeah.
Friday. And it's like Monday,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, that's not
Yeah.
possible. Well, why not? They do it all the time on TikTok. No,
Yeah.
that's not how it
And
works. Yeah,
and my
yeah.
budget is £50 or 50
Yeah, something
euros,
like
you
that.
know.
Yeah, I didn't talk about the budget, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We as coaches are here to educate the bakers, right? To tell them, uh, to guide them, not to tell them, to guide them to find solutions for their business to organize. But shouldn't the bakers be also educating their customers as well in about their own businesses?
Yeah, totally. And actually, I see so many posts that I think, no, like, I'm really sorry, but the price of sugar's gone up and the price of butter's gone up, and I'm going to have to raise my prices. You don't need to tell people that you're going to raise your prices. So the supermarkets don't people tell people they're going to raise their prices.
I
They
would
just
love
go
to
into the
receive a
supermarket and
notice
say,
from the
yeah,
supermarket, but no, I don't.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that, and again, I see so many Instagram profiles every single day, and they are, hobby baker or part-time baker or things like that. And actually, if you want people to value you, you don't
Hmm.
need to say hobby baker. You don't need to say self-taught baker. You're a baker. You make cakes. You don't see, an electrician saying trainee electrician or, 2 years experience, or, call yourself what you are. You're a business owner. You're a cake maker. You're a cake artist. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
it's almost like if you play down and play small, then you can kind of keep small. But actually, no, you're a business owner, and once you start behaving like a big business owner and really treating it like a business, that's where a shift changes, and that's when customers start to approach you because they know the value that you bring. And there's a
Hmm.
lot else around clearing up your Instagram. And I think I did a post the other day about the profiles that I see where there's a big red mark and it says don't order via DM. And
Oh my
it's like,
goodness, yeah.
oh, it's like walking into a shop and someone going to, no, you can't buy that one, oh,
Yeah. Pay cash or you're not gonna get it. It's like, okay, okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. The thing is, I think because I've seen those, or yeah, or profiles with the picture of their dog on their profile picture. It's like, I love dogs, but no,
Yeah.
this is a business.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a if it's something that is done out of fear, or out of not knowing what they're doing, probably,
Mm,
just because, that fear of, I don't want to be seen too much, I don't want to be seen
mm,
as a serious thing, because then I have to call it serious, then I have to
mm.
take it seriously. So yeah, it's but yeah, we see so many things out there
Yeah.
with the bakers. I know, even, I mean, the posts that, um the one thing that for me is like, no, are the posts that complain about their clients online with prints of DMs and conversations. Don't do
Yeah.
that, because
Yeah.
if I were to be your customer in the future, I will be scared. It's like, I'm not
Mm,
gonna. No, it's like, I don't know what this person is going to do with the DMs that I'm sending them.
yeah.
So no, no. I mean, so many things that, yeah, they take it wrong, and it shouldn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is, as you say, as you started that question with, it's absolutely our job or bakers' jobs to educate your customers. So if someone says, I want this cake, I've seen the viral post. It's like, I want a cake this size, and it's like on a phone or on a big screen.
Yeah, yeah, I've saw
And
it.
That's really reasonable for a baker to say want it that size, because they don't know. So it's a bit like I took my car in for an MOT the other day, and they phoned and they said, "Oh, it's failed on this and this." And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm not a mechanic. I have no idea about cars. So tell me what it means. What's the impact of that? And the
Yeah.
same with cakes. I think because we're experts in what we do, we assume that everybody knows that an 8-inch feeds this many, and we assume that they know how to cut it, and we assume that they know how to store it, and all of the things, and they don't.
Yeah.
So it's our job through the content and through the um the guides and stuff that we put out to make it really simple for them, because
Hmm.
life is busy, right? We don't want to spend 20 minutes trying to figure out what product we want and how it's going to work and what it's going to do for us. Tell me straight
Yeah.
away and I'll buy it.
Yeah, that's what they're paying us or the bakers for, right?
Yeah,
For their
yeah,
expertise. It's
yeah.
like hiring an electrician, and the electrician asking me about the size of the wire. I have no idea. That's why I'm paying
No.
you. It's like,
Yeah,
do whatever you have to do because that's
yeah.
what I'm paying you
Just
for.
make it work.
To make it work, please. That's all I
Yeah.
want. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, there was one post on your social media that I saw that really caught my attention. That you mentioned about how everything. I think you were referring to even your own business, how everything looked from the outside, but
Mm,
what was really happening on the inside, right? When you
mm,
see all those businesses online or on social media, or doing this reels and posts, and everything looks so perfect, and a lot of comparison comes from there, a lot of imposter syndrome comes from there, because I hear so many bakers saying that, I doom scroll for 2 hours, and then when I realized, I was just depressed because I didn't know what I was doing, my business doesn't work, and I don't know, I better quit. And it's sometimes what we see outside is not the reality what is inside. um should we as coaches be the ones to tell them it is okay to talk about the what's really happening? It's okay to open up, it's okay to be honest about the business, because that's the only way to change it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting one, because a lot of the people that follow me from their personal accounts rather than from their
Mm.
business account. It's
Oh.
almost a little bit like they're embarrassed to say to show that they need help. And
Mm.
we all that wasp has come back in.
The wasp
It's
is
come and guest
coming. We have a
appearing.
what? We have another guest in the show this today. I mean, I've had
Okay.
dogs. I have dogs
Yeah.
in the show from my guests, but never wasps. This is the first
Never a wasp.
time.
This is the first. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Um, I think that there is this reticence, or this what's the word I'm after? This embarrassment to ask for help.
Hmm.
But you know what? If I want to, I don't. But if I wanted to train to run a marathon, I'd probably try and get a running coach that would help me. I'm never going to do that. If I wanted to learn a new skill, I would get a teacher to teach me. Like we have to be a bit more open to
Hmm.
going, do you know what? I don't know it all. I can't figure this one
Yeah.
out. And I can watch lots of free YouTube videos. I can listen to podcasts. I can download everything. But actually, if I want to go further, faster, then it's
Hmm.
okay to ask for help. Absolutely. There's nothing to be embarrassed about.
No.
I work with a coach, I work with a business coach, and I work with a mindset coach. And I'm really open about that, because I think it shows that I'm doing what I can. I'm investing in myself to be the best
Yep.
coach that I can be. And there's nothing to be embarrassed about for asking for help.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. There is this sense of, I don't know if it's, I mean, everything, I agree with everything you mentioned, but also that I think there is this, it's easier to just, being watch YouTube videos, or
Mm,
figure it out by yourself, or you don't have to invest. Um, but yeah, ask for the help. And it's interesting that most, what you mentioned, most of the people don't follow you from their business accounts. They're afraid that you're going to see something wrong with their accounts or something. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's true. I mean, me too. I always said, most of the issues that I had in my business, if not 100% of them, that were related to pricing. And I thought it was because I was not doing the math. It all came to money mindset. And until I work with a money mindset coach that said, it's not about the number, it doesn't have anything to do with the number, it has to do with how you feel about pricing. I was like, oh. And everything changed. I mean, it changed my business, it changed my life, it changed the way I'm educating my kids, because now I'm telling them differently about money. It even changed how for me, how I presented myself. Like, okay, I'm sure about this now. Like, I own it, I learn it. It's like, yeah. So and it was so good. And I said it in the post that I put yesterday, is like, I cannot ask from my members and from my audience things that I don't do for myself. I just can't.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
and yeah, there is this fear. I don't know. I think it's because one of the things you mentioned, everybody can make, or most people can bake a good brownie or a good cake, and it's easy. If you have a kitchen and an oven, you can start your business. That's it. It doesn't require going to college. I mean, you could, but it doesn't require it. So yeah, it's that fear of maybe I'm not that good enough, or maybe if they see me, they see for what really is going on. And we cannot change anything until we show it and we say,
Yeah.
this is what's going on. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh,
And
that's
that's
good.
why the mindset work is just so key, so important.
It is, it is. And it's funny, the day that I had the episode with it was Savannah, Chrissy, and Kate, also coaches, and Kate coaches, and they all, when I asked them what is their, what do you think is the main struggle, and they all went to the mindset as well. So listen, bakers out there, we're talking about something here.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we're all
listen
saying the
up.
same thing.
Yeah, listen up is not about another, uh, cookie course or another cookie
Yeah,
cutter, or is not about just a template, a spreadsheet of how to do the math. It goes beyond that. And we're all
100%.
here. We're all here to help. Great, great.
Yes.
Um, what is the best advice? Because I ask you the best advice you have received. What is the best advice you can give to somebody who's starting out?
The best advice I would say, work out your prices properly from the beginning,
Mm.
because it's really hard to jump from £30 to, when you realise that you're giving your cake away for free, to
Yeah.
£100. Now that comes with the caveat that your customer shouldn't be paying you to train. So as soon as you are trained up to the right skill level, you should absolutely be charging properly. That will also help with your mindset.
Mm.
Um, if people will ask you, friends and family will ask for discounts. If you want to give discounts, have a set amount that you discount, whether it's 10%, 20%, whatever it is, but still charge them, because they will value them. The cake, you will value your time. Obviously not your kids, you can bake for those for free, but
We could charge them later.
yeah, it's that you find that your family and friends circle get bigger and bigger when you open a cake shop,
Oh
don't
my
you?
goodness. And then the friends of the friends and the
Yeah.
neighbors. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
everybody's your best friend when there's cake involved. I'd also say, mindset, as we've spoken about early on, is a really important one. And step away from this comparisonitis, right? There's so many cake bakers in the world. Um, you are you are unique. You have to tap into your unique skills, and you might have two bakers that do pretty much the same thing, but people buy from people
Mm.
that they know, they like and trust. So show up online, like, even before, if you're starting a new business, show yourself first. Like, I know that some people are scared of this, and I know it's a big thing for people to show up online, but if you compare a a profile of just cakes and a profile of cakes and a little bit about that person, I would bet anything that if the cake quality is the same, the one that is showing themselves and showing up is the more successful one, because people want to be part of your story. They want you to succeed. They want to know about you. They want to know what makes you tick. They want to know why you love making cakes. Whereas faceless accounts, you could buy anything, there's nothing there apart from the look of the cake.
Yeah. Listen, everyone, beautiful pieces of advice, because they're all absolutely spot on. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Jenny, it was a pleasure having you here on the show today, but you cannot leave without answering one question that I ask all of my guests. If you could bake a cake for anyone, dead or alive, who who would that be, and what would that cake look like?
That's a really great question. I've been really lucky in my career to cook for some amazing high profile. I've baked a cake for the King of England. I've baked baked for Madonna, George Clooney,
Wow.
David Beckham. I've been really lucky in my career. But I think if it was one person, dead or alive, I know this is a bit boring, but probably my nana. She started me out in baking. She's Irish. She would bake her own bread, and she would give me a little bit of pastry just to knead myself because I wouldn't leave her alone. And she died when I was working at Claridge's, and she was so proud of me and my career. And I do believe that people look after us, but she would love what I have achieved in my career. She'd be so proud of me, and I would love to have the satisfaction of creating something for her.
Oh, I love it so much. And no, not boring at all. I have to say, I think 90% of my guests goes around their nans, their moms, their aunts, family members, because I think at the end of the day, baking comes from love, comes from that familiar feeling of being in the kitchen with the people we love. I was taught to bake by my grandmother and by my mom. So, it's that familiarity, that happy place. So, yeah, it's great that you had bake for so many famous people. How does it feel to bake for the King of England? For me, that would be like, what?
Yeah.
That is great. Madonna. I think you mentioned some people that other guests have mentioned they would love to to bake for. But at the end of the day, it all comes to that familiar place, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can
Yeah.
picture myself back in her kitchen. I'm really
Yeah.
small. Everything's really big because I'm really small. And yeah, I
Yeah.
just know she would have loved it. And in terms of flavour, so because
Mm-hmm.
I was a chocolate specialist,
Mm-hmm.
it would be chocolate,
Chocolate,
obviously.
of course.
Yeah.
When anything is wrong in the world, rely on chocolate. Chocolate always have your
Absolutely.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from the prices of chocolate at the
Oh
moment.
my goodness. Yeah, let's not talk about that. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, I love it. I love it. And I'm sure your nan it's uh looking down at you and saying, "Yeah, she did it." So, yeah,
Yeah.
great, great. Oh,
Yeah.
Jenny, it was a pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for saying yes. Thank you for so much for being here, because for me that's showing our communities both that there's a space for everyone. This should be a collaboration and not a competition, and it's all about taking our business seriously. So thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
for being
you.
here. Yeah. And thank you to everyone listening today. Oh, before we go, Jenny, where can people find you? I almost forgot. Tell us, where can people find you if they want to contact you and work with you?
Yeah, so I mostly hang out on Instagram, and it's Sweet as Success.
Hmm.
I've also got a school community which is launching in the next couple of weeks.
Yay.
So yeah, loads of places to find me. But go and have a
Oh,
look on Instagram
great.
because there's loads of great free advice on there.
Great. Yeah. Oh, You're another fellow school community, not member, but creator.
Yeah,
Great,
yeah,
great. I'm loving school. I'm using it as well
brilliant.
for the community, and I'm loving it because it's everything in one place.
Yeah.
Everybody has access to everything, and
Mhm.
you don't depend on social media for it, which I just I can't depend on Facebook anymore for my
No.
community. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the school experience. So best of luck
Brilliant.
on that with that as well. And I will
Thank
leave
you.
the link to your social media here on the show notes for anybody who would like to go and check it out. Jenny, again, thank you so much for being here today and for sharing with us. And to everyone listening in the other side of this microphone, thank you so much. And as always, my friends, stay safe and stay creative. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Hey, my sweet friend, before you go, I just want to take a moment to remind you you don't have to figure out your cake business alone. There's a lovely cake community waiting for you. If you've been feeling overwhelmed, unsure what to focus on next, or like you're constantly busy but not really moving forward, the Art of Cake Business community is here for you. Inside, you find all the help home bakers need to go from feeling scattered to actually having a clear plan, structure, and direction on their cake business. It's where we talk the real things: pricing, time management, orders, burnout, but we do it while we're having fun. So, if you're ready to go from hobby to real organized cake business CEO, come and join us. I'll leave the links in the show notes.